Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Virtual Tech Conference. My name is Shantanu, and I'm the moderator for today's session. I would assist you with any logistical issues you may have. You could use the seating color options to seek help and just change it to red, and I would reach out to you for assistance. Also, make sure your microphones are on mute. If you have any questions, you could post it on Q&A panel, and I'm monitoring the Q&A panel. I would have the speaker responding to it. So the speaker for today's session is Karthikeyan, and he is a MVP in client dev. Over to you, Karthikeyan.
Yeah, thanks, Shantanu. Welcome all to my session on building a multilingual Windows Phone app. So, just a brief about myself. I am Karthikeyan Anbarasan. I work for a company called MicroExcel Inc. as a Microsoft practitioner and a Microsoft MVP in client dev, and I'm also a Node.js developer champion and few things over there like Microsoft Jobs India as well as these on MVP. These are my coordinates. I blog at fidebug.net, and I am in the social network is fb.com/fidebug as well as twitter.com/fidebug. Shantanu, I'm not able to move to the next slide. Can you please help me out? Okay, yeah. So the agenda for today's session is basically we'll just have a look around what is Windows Phone and idea about the global market where Windows Phone is being put up. Basically, there are questions where people raise or warning since Windows Phone is a pretty new OS for the mobiles, so where it stands in the global market. And later on, we'll see the multilingual part, how we develop applications for different languages. How we basically develop applications for different languages for Windows Phone. Later on, we have a small Q&A as well. Shantanu, can you please move to the next one? Okay. So basically, Windows Phone. The term Windows Phone, the mobile term, where Microsoft came out with around 3 years before. It's not the one which Microsoft has newly tried out. Prior to that, Microsoft was sorry guys, there was some network issue, so I think I'm audible now. Okay, so the Windows Phone 8 is Microsoft new mobile platform, basically the successor of Windows Mobile. So the Windows Phone was first released in the year 2010 as Windows Phone 7. Prior to that, there are different versions of mobile operating system which Microsoft has released. They term it as Windows Mobile 6, 6.5, 5.5, and other things. So right now, Windows Phone supports around 25 languages, and it has been available in more than 191 countries. So this is the design is completely new for the mobile world, which they term it as Metro design, a modern UI design. And the current version of the Windows Phone SDK is 8.2, where we are expecting another release in a couple of months, which is Windows Phone 8, Windows Phone SDK 8.1, which is going to have much more latest APIs and stuff which has been missing in the current SDK. So basically, with this Windows Phone SDK, we can develop apps in different categories. Basically, if you are a core C# developer, you can develop app using C# as well as XAML. Basically, XAML is the UI code where SQLite based UI code where you can utilize it to design your user interface. And also with HTML5, if you're targeting a web-based mobile app, we can use HTML5. So once you develop your application, so to move it on to the marketplace, we need to register with Windows Phone Market, where we need to spend around $19 for the developers, and for students it's completely free. So the question comes here, where does Windows Phone stays in the global market, and what is the market strategy where Windows Phone is standing across, so that as a developer I can think on when and where how I can target the audience. So right now, as I mentioned already, the Windows Phone market is available in more than 191 countries, and 97% of the world developers can submit apps directly to the Windows Phone market. So the major regions that has been highlighted over here, which has a direct interaction directly, we can use the Windows Phone market to deploy our applications. And there are a few markets where we can indirectly utilize Windows Phone market to deploy the applications. So this gives some overall pictures. So when we develop our applications, we target globally instead of targeting a particular region, which gives us more benefits about the app reaching to multiple countries, basically, which is basically when you try to monetize your app, the level of marketing and monetization will be pretty much increased when we start targeting the global market. So basically, when we target a global market, there are situations where the language plays a major role. So we have English, Japanese, French, Chinese, and many other languages. When we start building your application, so we should target the global. When we target the global audience, we'll be looking around what type of apps that should target the global audience. Second is the language differs. So what language we'll be using, so that the end users will be more attractive towards the application. Okay. So the multilingual platform provides something like a configuration-driven model where we put all the basic usage of the application resources in one file that can be used whenever the end user changes to their local preference, that is the local language preference. So it is like at the end, the goal is to reduce the complexity and cost of creating the application for different languages and different users. So we can create one application and we can target the multiple users. So the multilingual part plays like the app code remains the same, but the resources will differ from different files, basically. So a single application, single language targeted application, we'll have one resource file where whenever the app loads, it gets all the information from the resource file. But when we target multilingual applications, like my code base is on English, but I want to target Japanese or French, there should be another resource file where we have the Japanese term related to the normal English term. But the difficulty comes over here. Since we are developers, we don't have that much of language preference. We are not sure what exactly we need to put for the input, and we need to rely on some Microsoft related translators or some third-party translators. So Microsoft for Windows Phone came up with a toolkit where we can use the toolkit to create the resource file for different languages. They term the toolkit as a multilingual toolkit, which is available for free. At the background, the multilingual toolkit uses the Microsoft Bing translator. If you see, there is one small charge that has been incurred for the Microsoft Bing services, but for the Windows Phone and Windows 8 app development, Microsoft gives this translator for completely free. So before you start developing the application, we need to start basically download the translator and have it on your development machine, so that when we start developing the application, it does the translation pretty automatically. So there is no need of much of the manual interaction to get the exact value from different users and put the exact language preferred values for the terms that have been used in the application. So let's quickly see some demo on how we develop a small application and how we can make it as a multilingual part. So just going to switch on to my desktop. So I'm just going to create a new application, a new simple Windows Phone application. So just term it as VTC demo. Just click on OK. So as soon as the project is created, some base file that is required to run the project will be automatically created. On that you can see auto-generated file which is called localized tree. This is nothing but a class where we are going to use it in our project to refer the localized resources. And there is one folder where you can see an app resource.rbsx. So this is very important file where we put our base language resources over here. Since we use English as a preference, so these are some of the basic, the terms that the application is going to be used in the project is assigned over here. Like application title, which is like my application. I just going to change it as VTC 2014, and few other the base terms that has been used. So I just go to my XAML page. So this is how we put our, the components, and we'll be assigning the text over there. So if I just make it as EC 2014, this is a fixed resource where even though if the language is being changed in the phone, the application never reacts to the resource that has been added onto the app resource.rbsx. So we need to map it directly. Basically, we need to bind it to the app resource so that whenever the language or the preferences change in the device, automatically the application takes over that, and the exact value, the replica of the value in the specific language will be shown over here. So for that, basically what we need to do is we need to write a binding path over here. Binding path is equal to so I'm just going to go back to my app resource. I'm just going to take the value which is application title, go back to the main page. I'm just going to assign it over here. That's it. So I just binded a path over here which is a localized resource dot application title. Let's just try to build and execute the project. So this is my Windows Phone emulator. So it takes a couple of minutes to build the application, and you can see there is something has been missing over there where I am not able to see the exact value which I have been assigned over here. Let me just stop it and just going to add the source from there to pick up the resource. Source equal to there is some error that has been trying to change. See what exactly this is. Okay, so basically what I've done is I'm just given a binding path and localized resource. Okay, so this is the issue. Got it. So you can see the VTC 2014, which I have referred to my resource file has been shown over here. Let's try to build and execute the project again. I'm just going to clean it, rebuild it. Let's go to my emulator and then just drop my select again. Solution director. I think the emulator is great. So now I can see the resource that has been assigned in the resource file. It has been taken over. So basically now our next step is to make this application, basically make this application as a multilingual app, so that when the end customer changes the language in their device, it has been automatically changed over here. So what we can do is once we install the multilingual toolkit, there is an option over here to enable the multilingual app toolkit. I'm not sure why it's I'm just going to close this. I'm just going to stop this. Just go back to tools. Okay, this is enabled here. So we need to enable the multilingual app toolkit for the project. So just click on that. It takes a couple of seconds to enable the multilingual part for the project. So you can just go to the Solution Explorer and you can see one more file has been added. So this is a file, app.qps.plo. So this is a default file that has been added, but I'm not going to use it. I'm just going to delete this, and I'm going to add my own a multilingual project, translation language project here. For that, I'm just going to right click over here and add translation language. Just click on that, will open the list of languages where Microsoft Translator can help us to translate the resources to a specific language which we want. I'm just going to search for Hindi over here, and here we go. Hindi. So I'm just going to select OK. So there is one file that has been created, which is app.resources.hi.in, which is the resources file for Hindi. Just double click on it, and you can see the multilingual toolkit editor. So this you will get only when you install the multilingual toolkit on your development machine. It displays the list of the source file, the values that has been referred in the app resource file, which the initial stage which we added. So in that our source is BTC 2014. So we want to translate this to Hindi. I'm just going to click on translate, where I can select if I want to translate only the particular value or translate the complete file. Let's go and translate the complete one. So it basically at the background it refers to the Bing services, Microsoft Translator, Bing Translator services, and it takes the exact value to translate it to the near one. So for VTC 2014 there is no, the translator is not able to basically do that. Let me see if there is any suggestion over here. No, there is no suggestion. So like that, what I'll just go over there, and I'm just going to close this now. Save it. Just go over there and make it as so this is basically for the testing purpose, I'm just going to change it. Just go and this. Once again, I create a translator, the language translator file. Again, I select Hindi and click on OK. The file is generated. I'm just going to open that. It is there. I'm just going to again do a translate. Okay, here you go. So now I can see the translated value for the particular resource name. So like there is a translated one for India. I don't know Hindi, so I'm not sure whether this is the right one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select, and I have an option over here to suggest. So suggest basically will check for the list of suggested values onto the basically the Bing translator. So these are the list of translated values for it. So if you know Hindi, you can select the exact one. Since I don't know Hindi, what I'm just going to do is I'll just select one, and I'm going to save it. Okay, now I have saved it. But there should be someone who should verify that whether the value that has been generated by the Microsoft Bing translator is correct or not. So what I need to do is I need to share these values to a reviewer who knows Hindi so that he can verify it and get back to me. But how can I translate that? I mean, how can I give the exact values? Is that I need to do a manual copy of all the resource files here? No. So we have an option over here to send the translation file to a reviewer. Basically, I just click on send translation file, where I can just select a mail recipient and I can see whether I need to zip it and send it over here. Click on OK. So what it does in the background is it collects the translation resources that is required for the application, and it will prepare one zip file, and that can be, that will be attached to the email. I can just forward this one to the reviewer who can review this. Basically, the end user also require the multilingual toolkit, but it doesn't require a Visual Studio or any other SDKs to view that. Basically, you can directly go to this link, download the multilingual toolkit, and we can start verifying whether the resource files that has been sent from the application is correct or not. So you can directly download this and start using it. Say for example, the reviewer has found some issues. He has changed it in the resource files, basically which we have sent in email, and he is going to reply back with the file, which is appresource.hi.in.xlf. I need to get that file onto my resource, the application resource. Not sure what's something here actually. This got okay. So there is one more option here where I can go and do a direct import, so import translation. So as soon as the reviewer send me the file, I can just go select the file and it will be automatically replaced with the existing file. With that, we don't have any manual interaction of checking the resource file, since we are not specific on the the resource name and everything. So everything has been taken over here. Now it has. Now we have done our application where the multilingual language resources has been added. Now I need to test the application whether my app resources are working fine or not. So directly I'll just go and execute the project. It takes some couple of seconds to basically execute the project on the emulator. Okay, so this is my page which shows English language, because my phone is configured for English, UK or US. We just go to the settings. And let's change the language. I'm just going to change the language, but I'm not sure how I'm going to get back from Hindi to English. But let's try it out. I think this is Hindi. Okay. And I'm just going to restart the phone. And country and regional format, which I'm not going to change it. I just restart the phone. Basically, now the device's base language from English has been changed to Hindi. It takes a couple of minutes to basically restart the emulator. Meanwhile, let's quickly see around the multilingual toolkit features, and basically the editor features. So, as I already mentioned, the translate and suggest where you can utilize for suggesting the best option, and we can put a review mark over there whether the files that has been reviewed, reviewed by the end user, or all the application resources or other vendor review. So here I can basically put what exactly the status of the application, whether it has been reviewed, whether it has been translated or final. So basically, when we open the resource file and when we want to see what are the application results that needs to be reviewed or translated, we can get that over here. So when we change the state over here, you can see the status of the particular the application resource that changes over here. Let's see if, okay, so now I can see the emulator is changed, and you can see few apps which have been named in Hindi and few apps which are named in English. Basically, those are the apps where the application resource project has not been assigned, and they doesn't support the multilingual part. So our application name is VTC Demo. I'm just going to open that. Here you go. You can see the name, the header has been changed to the regional language. And the second one, the page name, that has not changed to the regional language. Why? Because I have not assigned the application resource for a particular, the particular text box. So if you can see that over here. So these are the two text boxes. So one text box I have hard-coded it directly, which is page name. Another text box which I am binding from the application resource. That is one which changed based on the regional language that has been selected. Likewise, we can do for multiple languages, and we can assign the the exact values for the multiple languages. So this is pretty straightforward, where we have less manual interaction in terms of the language. Whereas we can use a reviewer to review if the values that has been translated by Microsoft Bing services is exact, or it needs some tweaks over there. Okay. So where does the app resource file, the base level of app resource file resides? Is the app resource RSX is your main file, where you can add multiple strings over here. You can keep on adding multiple strings over here, so that whenever you want a new resource to be added, you can directly jump in and add the new resource. And every time when we deploy the application, we prepare a final build, all the resource files will be automatically taken by the app resource. If you build it, it will have a separate file for each and every language. If you want to add another language, you just go over there, add translation language, and you can select multiple ones: German, Greek, Gujarati, French. So 4 different files will be created over here. So for each file, again, I just go and I want to generate the machine translation for that. Basically, the translation for that. So there's an option over here like generate machine translation. Click on that. So it will be asking whether this, the process looks over here, and I'll just directly open that. You can see that has been changed over here. So these are the values for, I think, exactly sure what languages is which is selected. Let's see, GR is German. So select machine language. Just going to open the German language app resource file. Okay, great. So I assume this is German language. Anyway, I'm not sure, so that I can send it for review. Likewise, I can do for all the files. So when I change the appropriate language in my device, it automatically takes the value, and the app shows that over here. This is how the multilingual part works, and if you want to test the multiple resources over here, one option is I can go to the emulator, change the language over here and test it across. Otherwise, I can assign the culture onto the application directly on road. I just go to the app.server.cs, I can put my culture over here. Culture as ELFMGR for Germany, or FR for France. And as soon as the app loads, automatically the culture takes up over here, and it will show the application in the particular culture. Going back to my PPT. Okay. So that's all about the multilingual part for Windows Phone 8 specifically, and we have the same process which we can do for Windows 8 app as well. So when we target your application for both the platforms, we can prepare a single resource file and assign it to both the platforms instead of doing a repetition work for Windows Phone as well as for Windows 8. So this is all, I mean, the demo is done. If you have any questions, feel free to ask now.
If anyone would like to ask any questions, you can use the Q&A panel at the top, and I will get the speaker to answer your questions.
Okay, there is no questions over here. These are my coordinates. You can get in touch with me anytime so that I can solve your issues on the Windows Phone as well as the topic which I covered. Over to you, Chandra.
Thank you, Karthikeyan, for your valuable time today and for delivering this useful topic. I hope the audience have enjoyed and the session was equally useful for them. I would like to mention here that feedback is important in planning these sessions, and we would request all our attendees to provide feedback by participating in the survey. Events team will send you an email with a link to survey. Please do make it. Thank you, and looking forward to see you in the next event.
Thank you.